As you move through life, not everywhere you go is going to feel like home, no matter how hard you try it. Just something we all got to deal with, one way or another. The journey, however, well, that's a different story. Chevy. Home on the road.
Howdy, y'all. Listen, making YouTube videos is pretty stupid hard right now. I'm tired all the time, and not even for a good reason. It's just school. It's just waking up early, but I don't care. I'm still tired. And yet still, with being so damn tired all the time, somehow I have managed to find myself this lovely group of creative folk that have gotten me out to do some portfolio building projects or just straight up short films. We got all kinds of stuff coming out, but I want to focus on spec ads. As you saw in the intro, I did my best attempt at making a Chevy spec ad. All because one day I saw a buddy of mine wearing an absolutely dope jacket and a cowboy hat. And I said, hey man, I gotta put that in a thing. I don't really have behind the scenes. And unfortunately, all of the gear footage I shot, I forgot to dump it onto the friggin' hard drive, and then I put the CFast card in the camera I'm shooting on right now and forgot to upload it, so I deleted everything so I don't have any close-ups of the gear. We are going to instead talk about why do you shoot spec ads? Because right now spec ads are a dime a dozen. It seems like everyone is making some kind of spec ad for Nike or some kind of workout thing or a car. But the thing is, it's just free portfolio building. Now, correct me if I'm wrong here, but most filmmakers don't have, written resumes or your basic LinkedIn accounts. In fact, the only resume we really need is a film reel. But sometimes you just don't get the work that you expect to get. A lot of times in my career, I feel like I'm starting back at square one because of the work I'm not getting. So, me practicing what I preach all the time about being the cavalry and all this and doing your own thing, yada yada. This is where the spec ad really comes in. It gives you the opportunity to completely make something that would emulate a real hired gig, but with all the creative control with you, the filmmaker. It's a chance to showcase your ability to bring a product together with little to no resources, a chance to show off your cinematography, and also how to present a product, because ultimately, you can take these things and you can deliver them to companies. When you deliver them to these companies, you're saying, hey, here's what I can do, and do you have a need for this? With these spec ads, it's just proof in the pudding. And maybe I won't get an ad through Chevy, but maybe there'll be some other car-related thing, company, group, event that'll see this and be like, yo, we kind of dig what you did with that motor vehicle. Maybe they just like the way you shot the thing. Maybe they like the lighting, the blocking, the use of the camera, or just the fact that you're somebody in the area that has a camera. And they can take that style that is now your proof in the pudding and just put it somewhere else that they think is necessary. Another reason that I specifically also wanted to do these spec ads is because I wanted to try out some new gear. We shot these spec ads, and actually we shot the spec ad in the most recent short film with my Ursa Mini, but more importantly, I finally pulled the trigger on shooting with some Cooke S4Is. Cooke lenses are something I've always wanted to shoot on. All of my favorite DPs are using Cookes. All my favorite shows are really utilizing the Cooke look. And I'm just like, man, imagine something like the color majesty of the Ursa with the friggin' Cooke look. Sounds like a match made in heaven. And guess what? It was. Being able to shoot with a lens that seemed so out of my reach for the longest time was just so comforting. And it was also so nice that I have all the abilities and skills that I have now while using that lens. It felt like I was making some of the best images I've ever made for myself. And it was still with very non-complex stuff. It's mostly the natural light, the blocking, and the pacing of the whole thing, really how I've been doing stuff for the longest time. and even on our short film coming up that we used the Cooke, which by the way, we only got the Cooke 32. We got some good stuff. And even that, and all it took was basic lighting techniques to really maximize the image. I mean, even the lighting setup I got right now is really all we did for the friggin' short film. I mean, check this out. That is an Amaran 60X. It's like the weakest light in the Aperture lineup. It's a good light, but it's definitely the weakest light in the lineup, probably, at least from the Bowens mount. And that's all we're doing. We're just bouncing it off walls. We're supporting the sunlight. That's all we're doing. That's it. And that's how we drove the look of our short film, just through really cheap gear and augmenting the natural light that's already there. Last thing I want to say about why people should do spec ads and stuff like this, it's just practice makes perfect, especially in a logistical sense. You really start to understand what you can complete with what you know. And you really start to also understand what your time hacks look like when you're talking to managers or producers or directors, and the guessing game of how long it takes to do something starts to fade away. The Chevy Spec Ad was just me and somebody going into Baltimore. We timed out the route. We got there in about a half hour, a little bit of traffic. But honestly, I only think it took about 20 minutes, maybe a half hour of actively shooting something to get the entire thing. We took more time driving, really. But now I have that extra comfort knowing that if I do something like this, at least on a low budget, I can pull it off in this time frame. Shooting films is the only way to know this crap. No amount of YouTube videos is going to tell you what your time management capabilities are. So go out there, make a little spec ad, pick a company, whatever you want, or hook up one of your buddies that has an independent company, or like they sell, I don't know, patches or custom mugs or something. It's never not a bad idea to support each other, because we are creative people out here and we all broke. So if you feel like you're in a rut and you need a little bit of spice in your life, think of something that you could put in a 1 to 2 minute video, call it a spec ad, and put all of your visual skills out for display. Do not let the absence of creativity be the reason that you just can't make something. Don't let your ambitions hold you back. Don't let your lack of manpower and resources hold you back. Take what you have and make something, because I guarantee you it'll probably come out better than what you think it does. In about a week and a half or so, we're going to release our short film, The Gray Sea. It's an extremely important film. It is about sexual assault. It's kind of everything the Six Shop wants to stand for from a foundational aspect of us as veterans and creators. But once that film does come out, we're going to do a ton of behind the scenes on that, because I really want something on this channel to show you, the viewer, how to make a short film. I highly suggest you keep an eye on this channel, because we got some good stuff coming on the way. All right, deuces, y'all. I'm going to sell my soul and make some YouTube shorts.